Finally, we got some snow in Utah and I was able to get out on my 25 MtnTop 126 transfer. This kit is awesome and I'm excited to tell you about it. And if you don't think I pulled out of this little turn right here, check this out. Oh, he's deep. Is he gonna make it? Oh, and there he goes. Yep, he made it. So before I get too far in this video, I want to thank Colin at Power Chicken Off-Road and Heber for selling me the kit. He is a great dealer who not only sells the kits, but he rides them. He knows what we need and what our wants are. So, yeah. Here's my kit. Picked it up from his shop. Love it. Before I get too deep into the video, I'm going to give you the Cliff Notes version of the pros and cons of what I found on the kit. And then I'm also going to show you this. This is what I found when putting the kit together. So here I've got piled up on the workbench a MtnTop and a timber sled drive chain lined up next to each other. As you can see, the MtnTop is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-ish something lengths shorter than the timber sled. I just thought that was interesting and thought I'd throw the detail out there. Alright, so here we go. First ride. The parking lot and getting out of the parking lot was straight ice. And I was sketched out. My daughter was sketched out. But we made it. As soon as we got on the hard-packed road, things got better. The further I got down the hard-packed road, I'm noticing right away the front end feels quite light. For a newbie to a MtnTop ski, it can sketch you out. It's so light that it feels like it's not doing its job, or it's not like you don't have any traction. But it is working. I did have one sketchy moment, and I talk about it right here.
First impressions are this thing rips. It's just because we got a more efficient track back there, but the throttle response feels way better. I am not sure about the ski yet. We're gonna have to do some work on that. On the roads, when I go around the corners, it's like the ski was stuck in a track and didn't want to turn. I almost fell over once, and when I almost fell over, it shot me off the side of the road on a steep hillside, so that was interesting. Out here in the powder, the kit feels fantastic. It turns really well. It's floating on top of this powder really good. I'm really liking that. We're gonna try out my radiator blocker here. Our temps have been around 170, which is good. I'm gonna see if we can get it in the 180 range.
So here's my cliff notes of the pros and cons. There's not very many cons, it's all pros mostly. I needed to do a little fine tuning on the ski and the shocks just to get it the way I like it. But overall, I'm really happy with it.
You ever heard of MtnTop?
Well, only from you.
Only from me? What the heck? You should have heard about it from all of your friends. Does it feel much taller than that one?
It definitely feels taller. Not by a lot, but I can tell the difference.
Yeah.
So this is my 19-year-old daughter. I was letting her take the MtnTop for a spin to see if she could notice the differences between the two kits. The other one is our Timber Sled Raya S. That's the 120 kit, and it's also 3 inches shorter. And it's crazy to me the differences between the two kits when you ride them back to back. So see here, I literally rode 20 feet and I had to stop and talk about it.
Man, you don't notice things till you try something new. The ski definitely has more pressure on it.
So as you heard me say right there, it only took me 20 feet to realize and feel how much more pressure that timber sled kit had than the MtnTop kit. And honestly, that timber sled kit to date is like, I actually thought it had a pretty light ski feel to it, but it does not have a light ski feel compared to the MtnTop. Let's see what my daughter had to say about things.
Well, what do you think?
Well, okay, the second I started riding for stuff, I could tell that this was taller, but it's not bad.
You could tell what?
I could tell that this was taller.
Oh, yeah.
It is interesting. I feel like this one, you do a lot more steering instead of leaning, like even in this.
Yeah.
I was thinking about it. Like the ski almost feels like, I don't know, like if you're not purposely steering, it could fly away.
It's lighter on the ski.
Yeah, well, I feel like it's lighter in general. You know?
Yeah.
I don't know. It definitely feels a lot lighter in general now.
But it is, well, I actually don't know how that kit compares to that one weight-wise. That one is one of the lightest ones they make, though, so that's awesome.
Yeah.
This daughter of mine is a newbie to snow bikes. She's ridden snow bikes maybe, I don't know, 5 or 6 times at most. But it is interesting to get the newbie's thoughts between the two kits. She said you had to steer more with the MtnTop. I actually feel like you just need to lean more, and you have to actually steer more with the timber sled. But I don't know. Tomato, tomato. Maybe it's the same thing. I don't know. Here's a nice little hill climb on the MtnTop. A bunch of other people had already been up there, so the snow is a little compact, but it's pulling third gear really easy on stuff. Found a little jump. Actually, I wouldn't say I found this jump. We've done this jump probably 500 times. But I was trying to test out the suspension, but there was too much powder up there to really know how good or bad the suspension is. I'm sure the suspension's great. It's kind of hard to tell when you're landing in a 2-foot pillow. Now this part was actually really cool. This is very telling to me, the difference between the MtnTop and my previous Riot 3. When I did powder turns with the Riot 3, there is no way I could do a powder turn in third gear. I would get halfway into the turn and the bike would start to run out of power. It had a hard time pulling through that turn. Not on the MtnTop. The MtnTop is able to hold its power and really pull through that powder turn. I was really happy about that. That's awesome. Anyways, right through here though was actually awesome. So this snow, I mean, it's hard to tell in the video, but the snow is baseless. There's literally like a foot of powder, a small crust, and then underneath that crust, it is total sugar powder. There is no traction at all. And man, the MtnTop just climbs like no other. It's awesome. So right here I stopped and I gave one more first impression comments on the hillside.
Turn around and say hi. Do it. Say hi now. That's my daughter. So we got to give a couple first impressions of the MtnTop. This is the first ride on it. You can see the conditions. Actually, the conditions, if we step very hard here, it's just sugar powder. I just sunk up to my knees. Anyways, there is no base. This thing, even with no base, still feels unstoppable, especially in second gear. It'll just rip everywhere. That's fun. Its climbing is awesome. Suspension feels great. Everything feels great in the powder. The only thing I'm a little apprehensive about is that ski on the road. It feels like it gets stuck in a rut. Matter of fact, I did get stuck in a rut, and then it caught and threw me off the side of the road. We'll figure that out.
Alright, I'm going to throw up my pros and cons list here again, just to recap. Overall, my con list is very small. I did not expect to buy a brand new kit and just have everything be absolutely perfect. My con list, I would not use that as an excuse or whatever to not buy a MtnTop. The pros by far outweigh the cons. The way the ski feels, it's just the light maneuverability of it. The way this thing climbs, it does all of that stuff better than any other kit I've ever ridden. I love the adjustable shocks. To be honest, I kind of wanted to get a MtnTop sooner, but the shocks was the reason I was not doing that. Now that they've got these adjustable shocks, they feel amazing. They're not perfect yet. I need to fine-tune them just for me. I think I need to mess with the spring length and the sag a little bit. I'm kind of a lightweight dude. But yeah, those are things that I can adjust and get good for me. Everything else, the things I can't change, things like how well it climbs and how well it floats and how easy the steering is, how quick it spools the track up, how light it is. These are things that I can't change, and they're better than anything I've ridden. The issue with the ski on the road, that's probably just me being a newbie to a new ski. I need to figure that out. Overall, I'm super excited to fine-tune this thing for myself and get out some more this season.